There's a child sex trafficking ring that's receiving a lot of news coverage in the UK right now. Again, it's being covered again. I gathered our old pal, not Elon Musk, posted something about them. Um, I have been in contact with one of the survivors of, at least if not that gang specifically, then something similar from a few years back, and she's had to fight. She herself is white. I gather this particular group tends to traffic white girls in their young teens. She's had to fight racism left, right, and center with people constantly claiming that because this specific trafficking gang is made up of men of Pakistani descent, Muslim men of Pakistani descent, that child sex trafficking is specifically always carried out by Pakistani men, Muslim men, brown men, and that is so fucking racist. I don't know what to say. So this poor girl who was victimized by this gang has, she's constantly speaking out saying this is not a specifically Pakistani problem. This is something that happens the world over from all kinds of groups. And I've been posting in social media, things to the same effect, saying, look, I was sex trafficked through my entire childhood, as far back as I can remember, into toddlerhood, and probably, I would imagine, I can't remember, but before that, it went back as far as I can remember. And 99.9% of the people trafficking me were white. And of course, as were the customers. I sort of shuffled along through different trafficking gangs as I sort of moved from one age bracket to another, and it was all white, usually professional, usually highly educated, both the customers and the pimps. And some women have said, well, of course, because the demographics are mostly white in Western countries. Yes, but they're not 99.99% white, as were my abusers. So I'm really disgusted by, the other day I was talking about how people want to be partisan about who's a pedophile. I talked about how Jimmy Carter pardoned Peter Yarrow. Both of them very left-wing men pardoned Peter Yarrow for sexually assaulting a child. And one woman attacked me saying that I was a Trump supporter. That's ridiculous. And I'm simply going to stand out against trafficking wherever and whenever I see it. That's absurd. So, and now I'm, just like a few days later, I'm having to say something that should be patently obvious, that pedophiles are every race, sex traffickers are every race, punters, as they call them in England, those who buy children or whomever, are every race. And honestly, my own experience is that they're predominantly white because they have power and they have money and they have the ability to get away with things and not get caught, because nobody's thinking that they will be criminals. They're thinking, oh no, that's the brown men, that's the Muslim men. And then someone accused me of saying that what this trafficking gang in England had done, that it was fine because I was saying that white men traffic as well, and then so apparently therefore I was saying it was fine if Pakistani men do it. And I don't understand how people can be so goddamn dumb. There's all these groups, sex trafficking groups, that are exposed all the time that are white, that do that lure these girls, that groom these girls, and then pimp these girls, drug these girls, all this just standard stuff. They're white, and nobody's running around going, you see, they're all white, they're all white, Protestant Christian upbringings, Anglo-Saxon backgrounds, so we got to crack down on those whites. But then they discover one trafficking gang that is of Pakistani Muslim descent, and suddenly there's this huge Muslim problem, this huge problem with Pakistani men trafficking white girls, and it's just fucking racist. It's just flat out racist. And I don't even know how to address it. Like, I'm actually fumbling for words here because it's so stupid. I don't even know what you're supposed to say to such a thing. Meanwhile, I'm seeing people posting things about Muslim child marriage. And, you know, if you point out that child marriage is still legal in most of the states in the United States, they won't even listen to you. They act as if you haven't even spoken. Or they'll say something like, well, are you saying that it's okay in Muslim communities? It's like, no, I'm saying that it's wrong in any community. If you single out a specific racialized minority as the group that is the problem, you're just flat out racist. You're just racist. Most of the children married off in the United States are Christian. It's within a fundamentalist or even sometimes a cult-like Christian setting. But nobody seems to be going, oh, well, therefore Christians have a problem with child marriage. But they're saying, therefore, Muslims have a problem with child marriage. I just won't have any of it. Not only because I won't stand for racism, but also because I won't stand for people ignoring white perpetrators, acting like white perpetrators don't exist, because where does that leave the children who are being trafficked by white perpetrators? Where is their rescue? So